a friend came to me with some good news, and then I told her she was stupid. Just kidding. However, today's topic is on just that. It is on how we respond to other people's good news, and how that affects their happiness. We're going to be looking at a specific research study from none other than Shelly Gable. Shelly Gable, PhD in social psychology, focuses a lot of her research on the topics of motivation, positive emotions, and close relationships. So whether you're a manager who gets very busy at work and sometimes finds it hard to make the time for her team, or maybe you're that guy who just doesn't seem to get why his girlfriend always wants to talk to him while the football game is on. Either way, it's very important how we respond to our loved ones in our lives, because that response is going to affect their happiness. It's either going to build or undermine the relationships that we're in. The research study we're looking at today focused on if somebody came to you and said, "I just got promoted," how would you respond? And they classified 4 different responses and how those affected the person sharing the good news. The first is active constructive. This means somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, guess what? I just got a promotion." You say, "Wow, that's fantastic. Tell me more about it. What was it for? Something specific? When did it happen? How do you feel?" Asking questions, maintaining eye contact, maybe even making physical contact, and having your nonverbals be engaged with the individual are all signs of an active constructive response. Then there's a passive constructive response. This would be affirming that, yep, that is good news. Congratulations on the promotion. That's good news. And maybe your nonverbals would show that you heard the person. But there wouldn't be a lot of smiling, there wouldn't be a lot of follow-up questions. In the third quadrant, the response is active but deconstructive. So you would say, "Hey, I just got a promotion," and you'd be like, "That's dumb. Now you're just gonna get a lot more work. That might be stressful. And, might even put on some weight. Oof. Wouldn't want to be you right now." Which could really tear down somebody and make them feel quite awful. Then the fourth quadrant is passive and deconstructive. So, yay, I got a promotion. What's for dinner? It would be totally not engaging with the person. Maybe you don't even say anything and you just get up and leave the room. But your nonverbals would show a total lack of interest and lack of engagement, and you'd be, there wouldn't even be a conversation. You would not be in it. Those are the 4 different responses. And initially, when they set out to do this research, they hypothesized that any constructive response, whether it's active or passive, would be great for the person sharing the good news. What was surprising to the researchers is that they found out that if it's passive, it's also not a good thing. Because what it shows is, yes, an affirmation of what the facts are, but it doesn't allow the person to continue to feel and savor that positive emotion of their excitement. So the way to do that, if you are somebody who responds passive and constructive, there's 3 things really that help. The one that has the biggest impact would be asking questions. By asking the questions, the person sharing the good news can re-experience it and can continue to feel great. The second would be to maintain eye contact, so that way it shows more of an engagement through nonverbals. And the third would be even smiling, because odds are if a person's telling you they're promoted or that they have good news, they want to see that empathetic response that you're sharing in their joy. So those are 3 simple things you can do to move from a constructive but passive stance to being in the sweet spot, which we would refer to as active and constructive. Giving an active constructive response to those that you love will not only add to their happiness, but it'll just build and strengthen the relationship you have with them overall. That's all I have the time for today. As always, I would love to hear your comments on today's episode on the YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll see you next week. Thanks!